There are days when you feel like you're doing everything right, eating well, sleeping enough, no illness in sight, and yet suddenly a flight of stairs feels steeper than before. A grocery bag feels heavier, and your legs, not as steady as they were last year. There's no clear reason, just a slow sense of something slipping away, like the ticking of an old clock. Quiet, but impossible to reverse. You've heard the saying, eat fruit every day to stay healthy, but what if that very habit is silently working against you? Could it be that we've been caring for our bodies with things that look healthy, but no longer suit us as we age? We grew up believing fruit was the purest food. No grease, no chemicals, no risk. But after 60, the body doesn't respond like it did at 20. What once helped us thrive may now be quietly wearing us down. It's not that fruit is bad, it's that we're eating it like we're still young, when our bodies are no longer the same. A sweet slice of watermelon can spike your blood sugar, then drop it suddenly. An overripe banana can confuse insulin, making it harder for nutrients to enter your muscles. We think we're nourishing ourselves, but our muscles are quietly starving every day. And that's why I invite you to explore a different list. 7 fruits that aren't just delicious. They're right for rebuilding the muscles slowly fading with age. No superfoods, no expensive imports, just the right fruit at the right time for the body you have now after 60. Because sometimes just a small change on your fruit plate each day is enough to help you stand steadier, feel less tired, and live more independently. If eating fruit every day hasn't helped maintain your strength, then what's the right choice? The answer isn't something expensive, nor is it found in the flashy fruit displays at the grocery store. It starts with something small, something you may have passed by, something that looks like a garnish, but is actually the first missing piece in restoring your strength after 60. A fruit that isn't sweet, but warming, not pricey, but powerful, not famous, but absolutely necessary. Let's begin with fruit number 1, padron pepper. When you hear pepper, you might immediately think hot, spicy, irritating, but there's a kind of pepper that isn't spicy at all. It's as gentle as a warm bowl of soup on a chilly afternoon. Padron, a tiny green pepper from Spain. And interestingly, it's not categorized as a vegetable, but as a fruit. It's not a headline-grabbing superfood, often just a side item on a tapas plate. But for a body past 60, padron acts as a gentle path clearer, helping nutrients go where they're needed most. As we age, blood doesn't flow as freely as before. Capillaries tighten, oxygen slows, nutrients don't quite reach the ends of our muscle fibers. No matter how much protein you eat, if blood can't carry it, your muscles go unfed. And that's where padron peppers quietly shine. Inside, they contain a compound called capsaicin, the source of their gentle warmth. Not hot, not harsh, but it helps blood vessels naturally widen, encouraging deep circulation to distant areas. Calves, thighs, shoulders, the very places that often ache in older adults. At the same time, padron is packed with vitamin C, which the body uses to produce collagen, the biological glue that holds together muscles and ligaments. One study by the FDA showed just 5 to 6 padron peppers, about 100 grams, provide more than 130% of the daily vitamin C recommended for adults over 50. And the best part? No complicated cooking needed. Lightly saute them with olive oil, maybe add a pinch of turmeric, and you've got a side dish that's warm, easy to digest, and supports deep muscle circulation. Eat it 2 to 3 times a week, and over time you may find your legs feel less tired, knees less stiff, and those mild nighttime cramps slowly fading away. Small, quiet, rarely mentioned, but padron pepper is the humble beginning of your muscle recovery journey. By restoring the most essential factor, circulation, and if padron clears the path, then the next fruit is the protector, a natural suit of armor, sweet, easy to find in every grocery store, yet hiding a compound so powerful it can slow down muscle aging. That fruit is red grapes, and I'll tell you why next. Our bodies after 60 are like old houses, not crumbling overnight, but shedding a screw or hinge each day. Muscles don't hurt, tendons don't tear, but one day you realize it's harder to rise from a chair. You press your hands on your knees to climb stairs. A short walk leaves you unsteady, no trauma, no illness, just muscle tissue slowly wearing down. And while no one may be talking about it, nature quietly hid a protective layer in those red grapes we so often overlook. Red grapes, glossy, gently sweet, may seem like just a snack or dessert, but their delicate skin holds one of the strongest natural defenses against muscle aging, resveratrol. It has no smell, no taste, but once inside your body, it acts like a biological shield, helping muscle fibers resist oxidative damage, what experts call the biological rust of aging tissue. Muscle weakness after 60 isn't just about eating less, it's about nutrients not reaching where they're needed and no longer being protected once they do. Resveratrol helps repair the mitochondria, the energy plants inside muscle cells. When mitochondria function well, muscles have fuel. With fuel, you feel less fatigued, walk steadier, and recover faster from simple activities, like grocery shopping or babysitting the grandkids. Red grapes also contain flavonoids, plant-based compounds that help lower chronic inflammation, a hidden culprit behind persistent muscle soreness and slow recovery even without injury. A study from the U.S. National Institutes of Health, NIH, showed seniors who eat red grapes daily can slow muscle loss by up to 20%. And the beauty is, you don't need a lot. Just one small cup a day, about 200 grams, is enough to provide a meaningful effect. If you can, eat the skin and even the seeds. That's where resveratrol is most concentrated. If chewing them is difficult, blend them into a smoothie to keep all the nutrients intact. Here's a simple, delicious suggestion: a red grape walnut soft cheese salad. Mildly sweet, lightly creamy, with a crunchy bite. This combo isn't just tasty, but great for circulation, heart health, and muscle support. Or, for a refreshing alternative, blend red grapes with skins and seeds with a few apple slices and coconut water, and you've got a muscle armor smoothie, perfect after lunch or a light walk. Red grapes are like that, seemingly gentle, yet a silent protector. But if you're looking for a fruit with even stronger anti-inflammatory power, especially suitable for those who often experience thigh fatigue, stiff joints, or loss of body elasticity, then the next fruit will be a pleasant surprise. It's not flashy, not mainstream, but in the world of nutrition, it's likened to a hidden gem in the forest, wild, unassuming, and containing unexpected restorative power. Let's move on to fruit number 3, arbutus berries. If you've ever walked along the trails of the west coast of the United States, from Oregon to the low mountains of California, you may have inadvertently passed by a gift that nature has readily provided: arbutus berries, also known as madrone berries. They don't grow in rows like apples. They're not packaged in plastic boxes like grapes. They are small, with rough skin, and reddish-orange in color, like a rugged version of lychees, and therefore overlooked. But that very thing makes it a secret not meant for the masses. Arbutus berries carry a rare trio of bioactive compounds simultaneously in one natural fruit: flavonoids, tannins, vitamin C in high concentrations. Each plays a role, and when combined, they act as a solid protective barrier for muscle fibers that are gradually thinning with age. Flavonoids help increase blood circulation to muscle tissue, especially in the arms and legs, areas prone to numbness and fatigue. Vitamin C participates in the collagen regeneration process, keeping muscle fibers from becoming frayed like old, unused ropes. Tannins prevent collagen breakdown, like a small but tough shield, preserving the internal structure of muscle tissue. At 30, when you're tired, all it takes is a good night's sleep. At 60, when you're tired, it can take a whole week to feel like yourself again. That's because of chronic low-grade inflammation, a phenomenon that doesn't cause pain or fever, but it leaves your muscle tissue unable to recover after minor stresses. A trip to the grocery store, an afternoon of gardening, even just standing a little too long while cooking dinner, can leave your thighs aching, your knees feeling weak, and your calves heavy as lead. Arbutus berry, while it won't make you instantly feel better, is a quiet companion that helps with deep recovery every day. A study in the US showed that just 100 grams of arbutus berries, about 4 to 5 berries, can provide twice the amount of vitamin C as a large orange. And more importantly, The form of vitamin C in these berries is better absorbed in older people whose stomachs produce less acid and digestive enzymes. The usage is also simple. Eat them fresh as an afternoon dessert. Make sugar-free jam to spread on whole wheat bread, or lightly blend them with yogurt, fresh ginger, and a few drops of lemon, creating a recovery dose after walking. Arbutus berries aren't always available at the supermarket, but if you live near a farmer's market or have ever seen this fruit growing near your home, remember this: you're looking at one of the most powerful natural muscle anti-inflammatories. And if arbutus berries are a shield that keeps muscle tissue from degenerating, then the next fruit is the ignition, the switch that turns back on the ability to regenerate muscle fibers that have been fading with the years. It comes from the east, has a pale yellow peel, is juicy, and modern science has named it after a very special compound, ursolic acid. We continue with fruit number 4, loquat. There are people who, by the age of 60 to 65, eat well and sleep enough, but still feel like their body is an old phone. It charges, but the battery drains quickly. It's not due to weakness, but because the recovery mechanism has stopped working. If you've ever experienced the feeling of arms getting tired after a short time gardening, knees feeling heavy after grocery shopping, having to rest the day after taking your grandchildren for a walk, then it's very likely you're not lacking nutrition, but you're lacking the switch to convert nutrition into muscle. And that is what makes loquat, the Japanese plum, so special. Loquat looks small with a yellow-orange peel, grows in clusters, and is often found in home gardens in Asian or Latin communities in the southern United States. Few people know that this fruit, thought to be just for snacking, actually contains an extremely rare compound in nature, ursolic acid. This substance doesn't make you feel strong immediately. It doesn't give a feeling of nourishment after one bite, but if it enters the body at the right time, it will begin to reactivate the muscle regeneration machinery that has been dormant with age. The body after 60 often falls into a state of eat and lose. That is, eating enough protein, but muscle tissue cannot use it because the regeneration genes have been switched off. Ursolic acid does two things simultaneously: activates muscle protein synthesis genes, inhibits muscle tissue breakdown genes. This means that instead of letting the body gradually wear down, as commonly seen in older adults, loquat reverses the trend, retaining every gram of muscle, every tendon fiber, every area of movement that has been forgotten. Along with that, loquat also contains potassium, which helps smooth nerve transmission and muscle contraction, soluble fiber, which improves digestion and increases nutrient absorption, carotenoids, which fight inflammation and slow down the degeneration of neuromuscular cells. A study cited by the American Heart Association shows that regular use of ursolic acid can reduce the risk of muscle loss by up to 30%, especially in women over 60. In fact, many older adults share that after about 3 weeks of adding 2 to 3 loquats per day, pitted, they experience less knee fatigue, fewer nighttime cramps, and especially can stand longer without feeling drained. Why? Because the small muscle groups around the hips and knees, which are the pillars of balance, have begun to receive proper nourishment again. No need for heavy exercise, no need to take supplements, just the right fruit at the right time and maintained regularly. If you want to use it more flexibly, you can soak loquat with chia seeds and honey overnight and drink it the next morning, or lightly steam it with a few slices of ginger, both warming the stomach and easy to digest, or mix it with avocado or a few drops of olive oil to increase the absorption of carotenoids and fat-soluble nutrients. Loquat is not a trendy fruit, but for older adults, it doesn't need to impress with its appearance, but with its deep internal effects. And if loquat is the skilled mechanic restarting the regeneration engine, then the next fruit is the silent healer, both supplementing deficient minerals and healing damaged muscles. A fruit once known for its role in solving digestive issues is now proving that it can also heal muscles, like a shield for legs that are no longer steady. That is prunes, and we will explore them right now. There are things that were once given a simple name and then forgotten. Prunes are a prime example. People know them as a natural laxative, but they don't know that they can be a weapon against muscle loss, cramps, and fractures in older adults. From the age of 60 onwards, many people experience a state of, I don't do any heavy exercise, but I'm still as tired as if I just carried a sack of rice. The reason isn't exercise, but a deficiency of micronutrients and the accumulation of silent inflammation in muscle tissue. This is when prunes step out of the shadows of the kitchen cabinet and become silent heroes. Each small prune contains a very special combination: potassium, 732 milligrams in just 100 grams, enough to support smooth muscle contraction, prevent cramps, and balance electrolytes. Phenolics, natural anti-inflammatory compounds helping to reduce muscle damage after exercise. Vitamin K protects bone density, reducing the risk of hip fractures, the most vulnerable area in falls. Potassium is something that most older adults don't get enough of because they eat fewer vegetables or have to eat bland food due to blood pressure issues. Lack of potassium, muscles not only tire quickly but also recover slowly and lose balance after exercise. A study from Tufts University, USA, shows that just 3 to 4 prunes per day for 6 weeks helped people over 60 improve endurance, recovery speed after walking, and even maintain muscle mass in the thighs and calves better than the non-prune group. What about vitamin K in prunes? It's a hidden factor often overlooked but holds minerals tightly in the bone structure, especially in the hips and lumbar spine. When bones are strong, muscles have a place to attach. When muscles are healthy, joints are protected. Prunes are also very flexible in the diet. They can be chopped and added to morning oatmeal, blended with almond milk and chia seeds to make a recovery smoothie after walking, mixed into unsweetened Greek yogurt as a late-day snack, or simply soak them in filtered water overnight, drink the water and eat the fruit to increase digestive and absorption efficiency. Another advantage? Prunes have a low glycemic index, so they don't cause a sudden spike in blood sugar, even for people with prediabetes or those on a sugar-controlled diet. The natural sweetness of prunes can replace sugar cravings, while providing soluble fiber that helps slow down glucose absorption and stabilize energy after meals. Prunes don't show off, they're not displayed in prominent aisles, but for the aging body, where every reflex slows down, every step needs caution, that small fruit is like a safety rope keeping us steady day by day. And if prunes are the patient protector, then the next fruit is the silent trainer, helping muscles not only become stronger, but also more flexible, more alert, and, most importantly, retain the necessary agility to avoid sudden falls. Small, deep purple, growing wild in the forest. Let's move on to fruit number 6, wild blackberries. There are days when you still walk normally, still lift the kettle, still bend down to fold the blanket yourself. But then, suddenly one afternoon, as you stand up from a chair, your legs stop short, a feeling of unsteadiness. Your hand quickly grips the edge of the table, your heart beats fast. No pain, no dizziness, but something feels out of control, and this is not uncommon. In people over 60, muscle loss is not just about getting weaker. It also directly affects motor coordination, reflexes, and balance. That's why wild blackberries deserve to be mentioned as a special gift from nature. This small, forest-growing, deep purple fruit contains anthocyanins, an extremely powerful plant compound. It not only deeply antioxidants muscle tissue, but also protects the motor nervous system from premature degeneration. Imagine this: muscles are like guitar strings. The nervous system is the tuner. If the strings are rusty or the tuner's hands are shaky, the guitar will no longer resonate or be in tune. With the body, that translates to rapid fatigue, slow reflexes, and a tendency to fall when changing positions suddenly. The anthocyanins in blackberries slow down damage in both systems, helping muscles not weaken and nerves not lose their rhythm. A study from the US National Institute on Aging shows that older adults who eat 100 grams of blackberries per day, equivalent to about 10 to 15 berries, can slow down muscle loss by up to 25%, while also improving balance and motor nerve sensitivity. Not only that, anthocyanins also help improve blood circulation to small muscle areas, such as in the knees, ankles, and elbows, places that are easily forgotten but determine daily living abilities. Another valuable point is that blackberries are easier to find than we think. In the summer, they appear at local farmers markets, organic supermarkets, or sometimes grow wild in the suburbs and along roadsides. No need for a lot of money, no need for fancy packaging. Just wash them clean and keep them chilled, and they're ready to eat. The usage is also flexible. Eat them fresh as an afternoon snack. Add them to morning oatmeal with a few slices of banana. Blend them with spinach, almond milk, and chia seeds, making a smoothie that is both delicious and restorative for muscles and brain. Or simply drop a few berries into a glass of sugar-free soda with a slice of lemon, making a cool yet nutritious drink. Blackberries won't help you lift weights or climb mountains, but they can help you not fall when you're just stepping down a curb. They help retain the smallest things, which are sometimes the most precious. Taking a shower independently, getting up from the sofa by yourself, or simply walking the dog without worrying. I'm tired, I'm not sure I can keep going. And if blackberries are the gatekeeper for both muscles and the motor nervous system, then the last fruit on today's list is the silent architect, helping to rebuild every brick of strength by unlocking the ability to absorb protein, which declines with age. A small, golden, easy-to-eat fruit, but inside is an entire miniature natural laboratory for muscle regeneration. Let's move on to fruit number 7, golden kiwi. Have you ever wondered, I eat enough, so why are my muscles still getting weaker? Eating chicken, eating fish, drinking milk, but still tired legs, having to sit down to rest after walking for 5 to 10 minutes. Feeling tired even with light exercise, sometimes even feeling like your back, shoulders, and legs are soft without strength. The truth is, after age 60, the ability to absorb protein from food decreases significantly. The body no longer has enough digestive enzymes, stomach acid is weak, and the small intestine gradually loses its absorption efficiency, causing protein to enter but not be converted into new muscle. And this is why golden kiwi becomes valuable. Not just a cool dessert, not just a beautiful addition to a salad plate, golden kiwi is a biological helper containing the enzyme actinidin, likened to the key that helps break down protein, opening the door for protein to go deep into muscle tissue. Actinidin helps break down protein into shorter, more easily absorbed chains. And when protein is fully absorbed, muscles will have the real raw materials to regenerate, not being eliminated, not being converted incorrectly, but being used in the right place, rebuilding muscle tissue, restoring motor strength, and maintaining independent living ability. Not just a cool dessert, not just a beautiful addition to a salad plate, golden kiwi is a biological helper containing the enzyme actinidin, likened to the key that helps break down protein, opening the door for protein to go deep into muscle tissue. Actinidin helps break down protein into shorter, more easily absorbed chains. And when protein is fully absorbed, muscles will have the real raw materials to regenerate, not being eliminated, not being converted incorrectly, but being used in the right place, rebuilding muscle tissue, restoring motor strength, and maintaining independent living ability. And here's how to use it simply but effectively. Eat it early in the morning on an empty stomach, helping the actinidin enzyme work to its maximum. Combine it with a little pure honey and crushed walnuts, making a light yet protein-rich breakfast that is easily absorbed, or blend it with sugar-free orange juice and chia seeds, making a recovery smoothie after walking. You can also freeze golden kiwi into thin slices and use it as a cool afternoon snack. Delicious, good for muscles, and very suitable for those who don't want to eat too much. Golden kiwi may be the fruit that concludes this list, but for me, it is the final gateway opening a new cycle. Eat right, absorb right, recover right. Because the body after age 60 no longer needs to eat a lot. It needs to eat wisely. And if you still remember every step we've gone through today, then golden kiwi is like the lock that retains all the results. From better blood circulation, padron peppers, protected muscle tissue, red grapes, cleared inflammation, arbutus berries, activated regeneration, loquat, supplemented minerals, prunes, supported motor nerves, blackberries, and finally, golden kiwi retains everything, delivering nutrients to where they are needed. This journey is not just about telling you about delicious fruits, but about reopening the door connecting nutrition and the strength of old age. Because after age 60, everything changes. The body no longer listens as before, still tired after eating, still fatigued after sleeping, wanting to stop halfway through a 10-minute walk. And many people begin to believe like that's normal, that's aging, that's inevitable. But today I hope you realize something different. The body doesn't wither because it's old, but because it's not nourished properly. We don't need expensive medicine. We don't need luxurious superfoods. We just need to know how to choose the right fruits at the right time and combine them correctly. That alone is enough to retain every weakening muscle bundle, every misfiring nerve fiber, every slowing step. The 7 precious fruits today are not a perfect menu, but 7 small keys that can reopen the door of recovery for everyone who is worried, who is wondering, who feels they are no longer the same as before. Perhaps today you don't have all 7 types. That's okay. Just choose one type that you feel is most suitable and start from there. Be persistent. Every day, little by little, the body will respond, not loudly, but silently, persistently, and gratefully. If this video has sparked something in you, please share it with your loved ones. It could be your spouse, your retired father, or your mother who still quietly goes into the kitchen every day, because sometimes the most precious gift is not in a wrapped box, but in timely care. We will be back with a new topic, 7 seemingly healthy fruits that silently weaken muscles every day, a topic that will startle many people. See you again on the next journey. And don't forget, the strength of old age doesn't come from youth, but from understanding and making the right choices.